Hi, y'all. Welcome to Spirit Mail. I'm Cheryl, and this is Daily Mail episode 47. Last night I talked about emotions, detaching from our emotions, but leading with love and having compassion. And sometimes we take all of our emotions, the love, the compassion, we think it's all one thing, but it's not. So I talked about that. And somebody in the comments wanted to know, they said, I'm so frustrated. I'm not where I want to be in my life. How do I get on the other side? So I read that and I thought, well, I don't have a step-by-step process. I keep talking about detaching from our emotions, and that is what we're supposed to do, or, just I was struggling with it. Well, I was in the middle of uploading a video, one of the readings for the water signs, and uh, in the middle of putting in the keywords, and the tags or whatever, whenever you have a YouTube channel, I don't know how many of you know this, but you put in keywords and tags so that whenever people are searching for something, they'll find your video. Well, in the middle of that, I just stopped and picked up a deck of cards and started shuffling. And whenever I realized what I was doing, I was like, okay, God, why am I doing this? Is there a message for me? And so I went ahead and I prayed over the cards and I said, show me what the message is. And then I started shuffling again, and 8 cards popped out all at once. And so whenever I laid them out, there's a story, right? And I feel like it's answering the question that this person had. So the first thing I want to tell you, if you're watching tonight, is your question is important to Spirit. They want you to be able to get on the other side. And for the rest of us, the same is true. It doesn't matter what our question is. They want us to have the answer, right? They want to give us the answers that we need to move us forward. So I'm going to show you these cards as they came out, and then I'm going to tell you the message. Before I do that, though, I want to say, I know whenever I do my general readings, I never wear my glasses. And if you've ever ordered a personal reading from me, you always see that I do have my glasses on. And the reason is because in the general readings, I want you to have the message, and I trust that God's going to give us the message without my glasses, because when I put my glasses on, some of these cards, I can get really lost in them and the artwork on them. And it would cause the readings to drag on and on and on. So I don't do that in the general readings. But in the personal readings, I do actually wear my glasses for that reason, so that I can see better in case there's something that Spirit's wanting to show me within the artwork that's important, or important for that person to know in their particular situation. So my glasses are on, and the reason they're on is because Spirit said, put your glasses on for this one. So I said, okay. So, so to address the question, how do I get to the other side, right? So the first card that came out is the Page of Pentacles. I want to be on the other side. I want to bring a different reality into my life. I want to have a new reality in this experience. I want to have a new experience in this reality. The Pentacles are about bringing things into our reality. So step 1 is making the decision that that's what you want, and you've made that decision, okay? So here's step 2, and I've got clarifiers for each of these cards because, like I said, 8 came out and I laid them out, 4 on top, 4 on bottom to get the message. So step 1 is make the decision that that is what you want. When you're making that decision, or after you've decided that's what you want, look, we got to do the work, y'all. We have to go inside. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something to change. We can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity, right? So we have to go within. And I want to talk about this guy going within. Look what he's looking at. See this trail right here? See how far deep back it goes? It goes way back into the core of who he is. So he's looking back at his life. He's assessing things. The other thing I see is this energy center right here over his heart space. it's like he said, he's opened up his heart and he's saying, I want to find in my heart space. Again, like I said last night, lead with love, right? Find in my heart space what it is that's going to move me. What is it that I actually want in my life? Is it peace? Is it a relationship? We have to find whatever that is inside of us. And we have to shed light on the parts of the journey that have not served us. We have to shed light on those things that are hard to look at. This is work, y'all. It's important for us to know what the direction is we're going. If we get in our car to go on vacation, but we haven't decided where we're going to go, and sometimes that's fun, right? To go just take a road trip and just go wherever. But if we're wanting to go to a specific place, but we haven't decided, well, okay, so wait, stop. That's not right. Hang on. So if we're wanting to go on vacation and we're wanting to experience something specific, but we just get in our car and go without knowing how to get there, then we're never going to get there, or we're going to use up most of our vacation trying to find where there is. So this is very important, is to shine that light on the trek you've already made, and allow your heart to communicate with you about what was working and what wasn't working, and possibly why it was working and why it wasn't working. Because whenever we go within and we open our heart like that and we get quiet, Spirit can minister to us. And let me tell you, I've told you this before, and I've said, you know when it's Spirit because it's always loving. Spirit's never going to say, you crazy woman, why? You've been married 4 times, you're an idiot. Spirit would never talk to me like that. But what Spirit did tell me is, Cheryl, you were never abused. You were the abuser. But Spirit did it in such a way, that wasn't something I wanted to hear. But he did it, or it did it in such a way that not only did I receive it and accept it, but I felt loved getting the message, because it was in a tone and in a way that was meant to truly give me an answer to something I truly needed to know. I truly wanted to know. So if we truly want to know, why is it that we keep going around this same mountain? Show me, why is it? Shine the light on it for me. Spirit will answer you. It may not be what you want to hear, but it's going to be what you need to hear. This is hard work. And whenever I say hard work, I don't mean hard like you have to do 50,000 jumping jacks and 12 back bends and meditate for 10 hours. I mean, it's hard to go within and to feel those feelings. Because after I got that message, even though it was very loving, and it was something I wanted to know, I wanted that piece of the puzzle, even though it was very painful for me to know myself as that. So sometimes when we're sincere, when we truly want to have the answer, Spirit's going to give it to us in a very loving way, but we might not like what we hear. We might not like what we hear about ourselves. But again, it's going to be given to you in a very loving way. So step 1, make a decision about what you want to bring into your experience. Be willing to go within and do the assessment. Ask Spirit to show you. Ask Spirit to open your eyes, to shine the light on what is the issue that's keeping you tripped up. The next card that came out is the Page of Swords, right? So own your truth, y'all. It was not easy to own my truth and say, I was never abused. I was an abuser. That's not an easy truth to own, but when we own it, then we can move past it. When we own it, then we can better ourselves beyond it, right? And look, again, look at all of this misty, nebulous energy around his legs, right? It's like he's not necessarily in a place where everything's coming up roses, obviously not, but he's owning his truth. And that's what this card is about in this particular message, to own that truth, whatever it is. And then from that heart space where you've opened that energy center, right? You've opened that energy within your heart and allowing yourself to receive. Then you can make a decision about where do you want to go from there. From now that you know your truth, what do you want to do with that information? Where do you want to go? Are we going to grab on forward, or are we going to reach back, right? She's looking at the horizon out here. She's looking at this body of water. This body of water is representative of emotions and love and all that stuff. The world is right here. And she realizes that when she can keep her emotions beneath her or detached from her, separated from her, and the world is hers. So she chooses to move forward with her passion and with her purpose, owning who she is, right? And looking out to see what is there now for her that she can move forward in a purposeful, passionate way. And then she chooses. So whenever I laid the cards out again, I laid 4 down and then 4 under as clarifiers. So to clarify this, there was this, okay? So this is very interesting to me because Spirit is just, it blows my mind. I'm telling you, I had no conscious thought about picking up those cards. It's just like I was doing something, and then my hand came off the computer. I reached over and picked up those cards. Spirit amazes me. So once we make a decision that we do want something, the second part of that decision is putting down the burdens from our past life, because we can't bring that baggage with us. We have to decide that we're not going to carry that anymore. And it's basically the simple answer to your question is, how do I get to the other side? It's a decision. Decide to. But Spirit's a little bit more compassionate than I am, so they're walking us through it, right? So they're saying we have to let things go. There's things, this is a 10 of wands. It's things that you have been, it's representative of other people's burdens, but it's also representative of burdens that you have taken on yourself, not because other people required it from you, just because you've decided to. Not you, we, all of us, right? So it's like it's time to put all those burdens down. And if we're going to walk into this new way of living, this new way of thinking, this new way of showing up, if we're wanting to bring in this new experience, we have to let that old stuff go. We have to put it down. Clarifying this, right, is the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is about, look how those cards almost look like one card. Isn't that crazy? Wow. So he is literally opened up his heart, because this is his desire, the smoother water. He wants a smoother life. He wants to be able to move forward in a way that just flows, right? He's done with the rocky terrain. He's done with trying to with stumbling over rocks in the road or stepping in potholes or stuff like that. He's done with all that. He wants to have a smoother ride. So he opens up his energy center and he says, God, shine the light on it. Please shine the light on it. And look, I'm just saying, this is your spirit guide. And he's saying, these truths that you've been carrying, they're somebody else's truth. They're not your truth. Let me have them. I will carry them. You hold on to your truths and move forward. Okay, so again, this truth, you got to own your truth. But in the same respect, they're saying, Let go of those truths that aren't yours, those things that don't serve you. Let them go. Be done with them and move forward in a way that you're guided by only your truth, your self counsel, right? Let me tell you something. I know that in society, you know, we all talk about strengths and weaknesses and all that stuff, and we seek out counsel for our taxes or, you know, stuff like that. But when it comes to your life and what's right for you, the one who's going to know best for you is you. And that inner counsel, your Holy Spirit, your higher self, your guides, your angels, God Himself. Guys, your friends, they don't know what's right for you. Because even though they're your friends and they've hung out with you or y'all have done things together or whatever, they don't know the thoughts that you think whenever you get in your bed at night and the lights are off. There was a time whenever, and I've told this story before, bits of it, whenever I would go to bed at night and pray that God would just take me in my sleep, right? My friends, none of them knew. None of them knew. And whenever they found out, whenever I left my husband, and little by little they found out, because of course I told them I was just, you know, I just could not go anymore. They were shocked and surprised. One of them called me to her house to tell me that I was outside of God's will by leaving my husband. And as we continued to talk, and I started telling her, and then I said, you know, I'd pray every night that God would just let me die in my sleep. And she began to cry because she didn't know. So she was trying to give me advice about my life when she had no clue what was going on in my life. And this is what happens. So this is why I say, you and your Holy Spirit, your guides, they are your counsel. You are your best counsel. You know what's right for you. So everybody else's truth, give it to your guides. Give it to the Holy Spirit. Say, you do with it what you need to do with it. I can't carry everybody else's truth anymore. I can't be whatever it is they think I need to be. I need to be able to walk in my truth. That's part of this inner work, is really deciphering what's yours and what's somebody else's. So when you own your truth, this card is saying people will come back at you with their truth, with their passion, with their purpose, and say, no, it should be this way, it should be this way. But remember, you've grabbed on to your truth and your purpose and your passion. So he's standing his ground, right? He's standing his ground. He's owning his truth. He's standing his ground. He's saying, you can't bring your passionate purpose back into my life, because it's not my passionate purpose. Mine is this. I've grabbed onto it. I found my truth. I've grabbed onto my purpose, and I will not walk back into your purpose. Because it's important for you to be able to remain true to who you are. And then right here, you've got the Two of Wands. We talked about the passion, the looking out at what's there. And then you have the Knight. Move forward in that truth that you owned. There's the Page. Now we've got the Knight. Move forward in that truth. It won't necessarily be pretty. Look at how this is all kicked up back here. Look at all this rocky terrain back here. It's not going to be pretty. It might not be pretty. Let me say it that way. It might not be pretty. People's feelings might get hurt. People might not understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. They didn't understand why I was leaving my husband. They didn't understand a lot of things. But you have to keep yourself you have to stay in harmony with who you are, to be able to move forward in a way that you're not frustrated, to be able to move forward in a way that you feel like you are on the other side. So there's your steps. Make a decision. Go within. Ask God to show you exactly what it is that's kept you bound. And then own your truth, whatever it is, own it. And then hold on to your purpose to move forward. Okay, so here is the PS. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for this Daily Mail crew. I thank you for love, light, and prosperity. I thank you for clear and concise messages, and I thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show me what is the PS, please. Guys, don't forget, on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, live interviews this week coming. Call Butler, former apostolic pastor. And we will have a question and answer time. So if you have questions, remember that's always toward the end. And I'll let you know when that is, when we're ready for questions. Show us the PS. Look, when you're not moving forward, it's because we're keeping ourselves trapped. When we're not moving forward, it's because we're keeping ourselves trapped. We're not doing this job. We're not even doing this, where we ask ourselves, what is it? And let me tell you, this isn't a one-time thing that you do once in your life and you never do it again. Anytime we're stuck, this is where we need to go, right here. So if you're feeling stuck, if we're feeling like we can't seem to move forward, it's because we've got ourselves there. Because whenever we have a question, Spirit wants to answer us. That was evident to me. It's been evident to me many times in my life, but very evident to me today with what happened, because Spirit literally moved my hand over there and grabbed those cards, and literally those 8 cards popped out while I was shuffling, all in a bunch. So when we're feeling this way, it's because we're not willing to truly ask and allow ourselves to be open to hear. But when we do allow ourselves to be open to hear, there's reason for celebration. This is the 3 of Cups. This is you, your Creator, and the Holy Spirit, your higher self. This is y'all celebrating the joy of moving forward, the joy of moving past, the joy of getting our questions answered, the joy of knowing that the Creator who created you wants you to have the tools that you need to move forward. They can't do it for you. They can't do it for me. They can't do it for us. But they're willing to give us instruction. They're willing to move things around for us, but we have to be willing to move. As long as we're carrying this, we can say we want you all day long, but when we keep picking this up, there's nothing they can do for us. And it's scary, because there's some things sometimes that we don't know what the answer is going to be. When I was asking God that day, show me, why am I missing this man so much who was abusive to me? Why am I still so in love with this man who was abusive to me? Show me. I had no clue that Spirit was going to come back and say, you were never abused. If there was an abuser, it was you, because you were the one trying to control him. So sometimes there's things out there that we don't necessarily want to know about ourselves. But when we trust that they're going to give us the answers we need, just like they're giving you this answer, and we trust that every step that we need to take will be lit up for us as we need to take it, we can breathe easier and walk forward into the other side, where we can live a life that flows better, that runs smoother, right? Guys, I love y'all so much. I hope this answered that question. I hope that it's been beneficial for you. Don't forget, check out Tuesday night, Call Butler. I love you guys. Until next time, have a super duper day.